Hello, church, and welcome to the Midweek Pastor's Update for Wednesday, February 17th. Well, today is Ash Wednesday, and I'll get to that in a moment. But first, I wanted to start off with a couple, a couple fun announcements. Let's see, 3 fun announcements, actually. The first is that you may have noticed that I'm starting to grow this beard again. You're like, wow, no, not again. At least if you're my wife, that's what you say. But the reason I'm growing this is because last week, one of our church members, Joni Maxwell, who happens to be a docent at the Barnhart Museum, did I say that right? Here in Auburn, and she works with me on the Ghost Tour, where she put me in touch with a freelance audio journalist who is out of the Bay Area, who is wanting to interview someone about the story of Rattlesnake Dick. And Joni said, oh, I've got just the person. So she put this person, or she got me in touch with her one way or another. And so I'm going to be interviewed this coming Sunday, taking this journalist all around different sites in Auburn. I hope it's as beautiful a day as it is today. But it's exciting, it's fun, and that's why I'm growing this thing. Don't worry, it won't be on me for long. But I'm trying to get some sort of a credible mustache in the next few days. We'll see how that goes. It really doesn't matter. It's just a lot of fun to share the story of this character that I love playing and that I've learned so much about in the last, 5 years or so. And happy to play him on the Ghost Tour and now share him with what could be a wider audience. This woman, her name is Michelle Pitcher, and she submits her stories to NPR, so it could be there. I'll keep you posted on that. So that's kind of a fun little thing. The next 2 things are, you probably have already heard, especially if you've bought tickets to The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember that play that I was in a year ago? Well, it's now scheduled for September, but beginning, I think, September 4th, right after Labor Day, somewhere in there. And it's going to run for 2.5, 3 weeks. But anyway, if you bought tickets previously, you've got yours already. You've got them for a show, and they'll just they would have been just transported to the new date that corresponds to the day that you had them. And if you want to change them, it's not a big deal. But I'm excited to say that because we've been really talking about when we're going to start the rehearsals, and it's not till the summer, but as things continue to improve with COVID and the vaccinations and all that, it's just so refreshing to be able to look forward to doing this again, even though I'll be honest, I haven't been tapping or roller skating very much at all since last March when we were stopped about a week before production. So there's that. And then lastly, another really fun thing. Those of you who got to see our State Theater radio plays in the church parking lot in the fall will be excited to know that we've got 4 more dates coming up this spring, where we'll be doing a variety of radio shows, very similar. So outside, and the dates, let's see if I can remember. It's going to be March 27th, April 10th, April 24th, and May 8th. All in the church parking lot. 6 p.m. is the rough starting time. We want it to be, get there before dark, but have the shows start at dark. It's bring your own chairs, bring your own masks, bring your own food or beverages of choice. Always welcome. The shows will run about 1.5 to 2 hours. We'll try to keep it, not too long, but it's just so much fun. There's going to be comedies, there's going to be dramas, there's going to be suspense. I'm going to be in some of them. I'll be directing some of them. So I'm really excited to get involved with this. So keep your eyes out for that. Those of you who are local anyway, who are watching this, why not fly out actually, if you wanted to, for those 4 dates. So those are just some exciting things to share on this Ash Wednesday. I have another, something else I'd like to share, and it's in the form of a prayer request. It's from one of our members and their family, Holly Crawley. Her daughter, Maria, who's really young, is she 4 or 5? She's going in for surgery tomorrow, Thursday, which is the 18th, very early, for an operation on both thumbs for trigger finger. And, while this is what can be expected to be a very quick, they said even 10-minute surgery. It's just nerve-wracking to have one so young, and then, you know, just the family going through this. It's just, there's still a lot of reason for, prayer will be wonderfully accepted. And so if you would pray for Maria Crawley, who's having surgery tomorrow morning, sometime around 7 o'clock, I think, 8 o'clock. And again, it should be quick. We'll do the best we can to keep people posted if you would like, but your prayers will be so welcome as the family just gets ready for tomorrow morning with that. So as I said, today is Ash Wednesday. Now, if you were raised in a Catholic tradition or even an Orthodox tradition, you're well aware of the power and the importance of Ash Wednesday. I myself, having been raised in a United Church of Christ, a Protestant church, had some awareness of it, especially when I started going to a Catholic high school, but it was really late, more when I was a minister, that I really came to appreciate not only the power of Ash Wednesday, but just the meaning and the purpose and the richness of the 40-day sojourn that we call Lent. Lent meaning derived from the Latin word that has to do with lengthening. As the days lengthen, we move towards the hope, the rebirth of spring and Easter. But Lent is an initial time of sojourn, of reflection in those places of wilderness in our lives. And, you know, I don't know if there could be a better precursor or training ground than what we've had for this last year in terms of the separation that we've been going through, the lack of connection, that aloneness that a lot of us are feeling, and for better or for worse right now. And so the Lenten season might be one of the most important times in many of our lives to really immerse ourselves into this powerful season of Lent. You may find yourself in the wilderness in a lot of ways. You know, I've already mentioned the pandemic-related sort of loneliness that a lot of us feel, but the other seasons of loss are real. The loss of livelihood, of freedom, the loss of security. We know the loss of trust, the loss of loved ones, the loss of our health, the loss of feeling a sense of family, a sense of neighborhood. There are many ways that the wilderness for each one of us is real. And so, to walk through the place of Lent, the season of Lent, to go into it like Jesus did, could be a profound reclamation of these places in our lives that maybe just feel like wastelands right now. But what Lent teaches us is that those wastelands are waiting for the arrival, are ripe for the arrival of God's manna. That the spring rains will come. I mean, heck, out here they've been coming in earnest, and the life is popping because of it. To step fully into Lent this year is to give ourselves to the possibility of hope, the possibility of better days ahead, the possibility of life to emerge from the pain the ashes, the loneliness. So I want to invite you in your own way, and it's different this year. But one way or another, maybe you participated in the Ash Wednesday project and you drew something with one of these charcoal sticks. Well, I want to invite you to pause this or just at some point, it doesn't even matter if it's Ash Wednesday, at some point, find a piece of charcoal or even just some ash from something around the house, a candle, maybe a piece of paper. And in the spirit of stepping with intention and hope into Lent, I invite you to take that ash and mark yourself right on the forehead with the sign of a cross. Traditionally, we say, remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return. And that is a beautiful and powerful reminder of our mortality and of our opportunity to live this life today, because today we have life. But more than that, a cross of ashes to me is about remembering that the symbol of the cross itself, while intended to be solely a means of execution, of torture, of pain, was itself redeemed, was itself transformed by the love and the faith of the one who gave himself freely, the one whom we follow in our way of living as best we can every day, and in our way of walking through suffering, through the struggle, through the places of wilderness, yes, even to our own crosses, our own burdens. So as we mark ourselves today with ash, as we reflect through the 40 days of Lent, may we remember that we are walking with Jesus. He is by our side through whatever it is that we are going through. Friends, in your own wilderness, I pray that you know that presence. Until next time, may each one of you be held in the peace and the love of Christ. Amen.